People say wars are won with swords. But the truth is, wars are won with the mind. This is the story of a boy who had no army, no power, no name. Yet with nothing but his intelligence, he forced kings to their knees. This is not a story of a hero. This is the story of someone far more dangerous. The night was dark. So dark that even the moon had disappeared behind the clouds. And in that darkness, a boy was running. Barefoot. Breathing hard. Desperate. Behind him, voices echoed through the narrow streets. Catch him. He's a thief. But he wasn't a thief. His name was Aryan. And all he was trying to do was survive. He didn't look back. He couldn't afford to. His feet slammed against the cold ground as he turned sharply into a narrow alley, nearly slipping on the wet stones. His lungs burned, but he kept running. If they caught him, it would be over. Not prison. Not punishment. Death. He darted behind a broken wall and crouched low, pressing his body into the shadows. His breathing was loud, too loud. He covered his mouth, forcing himself to stay still. Footsteps. Closer. Voices. They couldn't have gone far. Search the alley. Aryan shut his eyes. His heart pounded so violently he thought it would give him away. Seconds felt like hours. Then. Silence. The footsteps faded. They moved on. Aryan slowly exhaled. For a moment, he just sat there. Then a small smile appeared on his face. Not strength, he whispered. Intelligence. Aryan was not like the others in the slums. He had been born into nothing. His father, a laborer, had worked until his body gave out. One day, he simply collapsed. And never stood again. His mother tried to hold things together. For a while. But hunger is a cruel enemy. And eventually. It took her too. After that. Aryan was alone. People say being alone makes you weak. Aryan had learned something different. Being alone meant, you depended on no one. The thing they were chasing him for that night was a bag of bread. But he hadn't stolen it. Not in the way they thought. A few hours earlier. The marketplace had been crowded. Busy. Loud. Perfect. Aryan stood near the edge, watching. Observing. Waiting. His eyes locked onto a well-dressed man buying fresh bread from a vendor. Aryan didn't rush. He never rushed. He walked calmly toward him. Sir, Aryan said politely, you dropped something. The man immediately checked his pocket. What? Where? Aryan pointed to the ground. There. As the man bent down. Aryan moved. Quick. Precise. Silent. He lifted the bag of bread from the man's hand. And vanished into the crowd. That's not stealing, Aryan muttered now, taking a bite. That's winning. But every clever move comes with a price. And tonight. That price had been chasing him through the streets. He sat quietly, finishing the bread. Each bite felt like victory. Like survival. Like proof that he could outthink the world. But he wasn't alone. Not anymore. From a distance. Someone was watching him. A tall figure. Dressed in dark clothing. Still. Silent. Observing. Interesting, the man murmured. Morning came slowly. Cold light filtered through the broken ceiling of the abandoned building where Aryan slept. This place. Ruined walls, cracked stone, empty silence. Was the closest thing he had to a home. He stood up, stretched slightly, and stepped outside. Another day. Another fight to survive. But the moment he turned the corner, He froze. The same man from the night before stood there. Waiting.no running today, the man asked calmly. Arian's body tensed instantly. I didn't steal anything, he replied. The man smiled. Really? Then what would you call it? Arian held his gaze. Winning. There was a pause. A long one. Then the man laughed. A quiet, impressed laugh. Do you know what you are? The man asked. Arian didn't respond. He didn't trust easily. You're not a thief, the man continued. You're a strategist. Arian frowned slightly. A what? The man stepped closer. Someone who doesn't fight with strength, but with the mind. Arian said nothing. But he listened. You could do more than steal bread, the man said softly. You could control outcomes. Arian scoffed. Control. I can barely survive. The man's eyes sharpened. No, you survive because you're already thinking differently. Silence fell between them. Heavy. Uncertain. Then the man spoke again. I can teach you. Arian looked at him carefully. Teach me what? How to win, properly. The air seemed to shift. For what? Arian asked. What do you get? The man smiled again. This world is a game, he said. And I'm looking for someone who understands how to play it. Arian glanced back at the broken streets behind him. The hunger. The loneliness. The endless struggle. Then he looked at the man. I have one condition, Arian said. The man raised an eyebrow. I don't become anyone's servant. The man chuckled. Servant? No. He stepped closer. You become the mind behind the throne. Arian's eyes narrowed. That was different. And in that moment, for the first time in his life, he wasn't just thinking about survival. He was thinking about power. Fine, Arian said quietly. And just like that, everything changed. He walked with the stranger, leaving behind the only life he had ever known. He didn't know where this path would lead. But one thing was certain. He would never be powerless again. They didn't teach him how to fight. They taught him how to lie, without being caught. And that was far more dangerous. Arian followed the man without asking another question. That alone felt strange. He had spent his whole life trusting no one. And now he was walking beside a stranger who spoke like he already knew him. Where are we going? Arian finally asked. The man didn't look back. To a place where people like you are either broken. He paused. Or turned into something useful. Arian didn't like the sound of that. But he didn't stop walking. They reached the edge of the city. The crowded streets slowly disappeared, replaced by quiet stone paths and tall walls. Big houses. Clean roads. Guards. This was not Arian's world. Stay close, the man said. I don't need protection, Arian replied. The man smirked. No. You need control. They passed through a gate without being stopped. That confused Arian. Why didn't they question you? He asked. Because they already know who I am, the man said calmly. And who are you? Arian pushed. The man stopped walking. For the first time, he turned fully toward him. Someone you should listen to, if you want to stop running for the rest of your life. Arian held his gaze. He didn't like authority. But something about this man felt different. Not loud. Not forceful. Just certain. They entered a large courtyard. Servants moved quickly, heads down. Guards stood still like statues. Everything here had order. Everything had purpose. Arian felt it instantly. This place wasn't about survival. It was about power. You'll stay here, the man said. Arian frowned. As what? The man's eyes flicked toward a group of servants carrying trays. A servant. Arian stepped back immediately. No. The answer came fast. Sharp. I told you, I'm not becoming anyone's servant. The man didn't react. He just looked at him, calmly. Then leave. Arian blinked. What? Leave, the man repeated. Go back to your broken streets. Steal food. Run. Hide. Survive. Arian clenched his jaw. That's not what I... Then stop thinking like that, the man cut in. His voice was still calm, but heavier now. You think this is about serving people, he said. This is about getting close enough to understand them. Arian said nothing. You can't control a game, the man continued. If you don't know how the players think. Silence. Then. What's your name? Arian asked. The man smiled slightly. Call me Kale. Arian looked around again. Servants. Guards. Nobles in fine clothes walking past without even noticing them. And what exactly am I supposed to learn here? Arian asked. Kale stepped closer. Everything they don't say out loud. That same day, Arian was given simple clothes. Plain. Rough. Invisible. Rule number 1, Kale said, walking beside him. No one sees a servant. Arian glanced around. He realized it instantly. People talked freely around servants. Ignored them. Dismissed them. Like they weren't even human. Good, Kale said quietly. You're noticing. Arian stayed silent. But inside, he was already learning. For the next few hours, Arian did nothing but watch. Who talked to who? Who avoided eye contact? Who gave orders, and who hesitated? It wasn't random. There was a pattern. Always a pattern. By evening, Kale returned. Well, he asked. Arian didn't hesitate. The fat one near the fountain isn't as powerful as he pretends. Kale raised an eyebrow. Explain. He talks loudly, but keeps looking at the man in blue before making decisions. Kale nodded slowly. Go on. The man in blue barely speaks, but everyone listens when he does. Arian crossed his arms slightly. He's the real power. For the first time. Kale looked impressed. Good, he said. Very good. Arian felt something shift inside him. Not pride. Not exactly. Something sharper. You're ready, Kale said. Arian frowned. For what? Kale leaned slightly closer. For your first test. Night fell again. But this time, Arian wasn't running. Kale handed him a small object. A ring. Gold. Heavy. Important. You see that man? Kale said, pointing toward a noble standing near the balcony. Arian nodded. Yes. That ring belongs to him. Arian looked at the ring in his hand, then back at Kale. You want me to steal it, and give it back? Kale shook his head. No. A pause. I want you to make him believe, it was never stolen. Arian's eyes narrowed. What? Kale's voice dropped slightly. By morning, that man should be wearing this ring. He tapped it lightly. And have no idea it was ever missing. Silence. Arian stared at the ring. Then at the man. Then back at Kale. That's impossible, Arian said. Kale smiled. That's why it's a test. Arian's mind started racing. Fast. Sharp. Dangerous. This wasn't about stealing. This was something else. Something deeper. And if I fail? Arian asked quietly. Kale's expression didn't change. Then you go back to being nothing. Arian clenched the ring in his hand. The game had begun. And for the first time, he wasn't just trying to survive. He was trying to win. Arian took a slow breath. And stepped into the crowd. Somewhere in the distance. The noble laughed, unaware. Arian watched him carefully. Every move. Every habit. Every weakness. I'll make you believe your own lie, Arian whispered under his breath. And then he disappeared into the night.